Hello and welcome back to a video by Learn Computing with Daniel Bullen, with me, Daniel Bullen. And today I'm going to go through the May 2019 GCSE Computer Science paper, paper 2, via the WJEC exam board. We're only going to go through two questions. This video will focus primarily on the two algorithm questions that's there. But before I do, please remember to click that like and subscribe button and spread this link and this video far and wide as you can. It helps me get this channel really going. So without further ado, I'm going to go into the video. So here we go. So below, you've got an algorithm. So in this one, we have to look at what the algorithm is, see what's going on here, what the algorithm is about. Because on this sort of question, we can get something like this, which we would need to enter into our electronic answer document. So from the algorithm above, which is this, what we need to do is identify an example of a local variable, a global variable, annotation, and assignment. So let's say I want to find a local variable. So a local variable is going to be total. No, it's not actually. Local variable is going to be counter. Reason why I nearly put total, because you would think, well, total is the first thing. No, if we have a look, line 3 to line 13, we've got a subroutine, or a function, or a method. So in the case of Python, it's a subroutine. If you're doing C# or Java, it's a method, etc. So counter is a local variable inside the counter subroutine. Total, you might think, well, you've got total plus counter. No. Total is a global variable, which is going to be up here, because it's outside the subroutine, and we can use it throughout the whole program to have other subroutines that make use of it. So we've got counter and we've got total. So we've got a local variable counter and we've got a global variable total. Next thing we need to find is annotation and assignment. So annotation, you'll find on line 11 in brackets we'll say note the loop has ended here. That is our annotation. Assignment, there's two we could have. If I was to go for it, I would have set total equals 0. An alternative we could have set counter equals 0. That's literally all you need to do. Okay? So literally it. You're just finding what's in there, you're just identifying what's in there, and then you are just writing the answer out. That's all we're doing for this one. Okay? On to question 5. So this is a 9 marker. So it's going to be a little bit harder, which is why I'm going to show you how we could code this in Python. As most schools that teach computer science, they utilize Python. So we got an algorithm. So we got out value is an integer. We're setting the value to 0. We've got a subroutine called multi, and we're going to go into a nested for loop, output some values, and then it's going to go to the next iteration, and then once it's reached all 3 iterations, we're going to end the subroutine. So in this algorithm, we need to complete the table in the electronic answer document to show all the outputs in the program. So this requires us to do a trace table. So the columns we could have output, output value. So we could do it in any way. So we could do 1, then output, say, that's going to be a, let's just say the output could be a 1, could be a 1, or what we could do 1, 2, 3. So we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 outputs. Why? Because we're going from 1 to 3, 1 to 3. So with pseudocode, it's almost close to plain English. But in this case, it's not necessarily going to be. So if we were to have a look, for I, so if the output's 1, output value is 1, and that's going to be 1, we're basically saying 1 times 1, which is going to give us a 1. And then we go to 2. So you could do 2 times 2 is 2. Or 2 times 1 is 2. And then 3, you're going to do 3. Or 1 times 3, or 3 times 1 is going to be a 3. So we've got that bit okay. The output's going to be a 4. This is where we're going to need to have, this is where we're going to need to have 2. You're going to need to have a 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. Then we're in iteration 5. So you got 2 times 2. That's going to be a 4. So the first iteration is just going 1, 2, 3. As what we're seeing in the second 3 iterations, it's going to go up in 2s. So that's going to be a 6. Okay? So that's gone up 1, 2, 3, and then it's gone 2, 4, 6. And then in the third one, it's going to start with 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 8. 3 times 2 is going to be 6. And then 9. 3 times 3 is 9. So that would get you 9 marks. So let's say I decided to test this in code. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to test this in code. So we would need to have a look at the algorithm. Out value is integer. So in this case, out value is going to be a 0. Then we declare subroutine called multi. And then what we do, we bring in those for loops. Okay? So you do global out value and then we're going to need a for loop. Okay? So it's literally going to be it. So we got global, and then what we are going to need, how do we do the for loop? So we would need to do for I in range. I'm going to do 1 to 4 because we want to go up to 3. So in computers, a 4 in human way is going to be a 3 for a computer because computers start with 0. And then what we want to do is we want to do for j in range. We're going to do 1 to 4. Okay? So that's the next bit. And then we want to do the out value. And that's going to equal I times j. And then what we want to do is print out value. And then what we need after that is we need to call multi. And there we go, bosh. So you can see, by trying it out in a programming language like Python, you can see it has outputted the numbers in which we've predicted. So the first three we've got, first time we did 1, 2, 3. And then we did 2, 4, 6. And then we did 3, 6, 9. So in the first part, with the 1, it's going up in ones. And then it's doing that in here and out in the value. And then after going up to 4 in the first one, it's then going to go up 2, 4, 6. So it's going to go up in 2s. Once it's done that, then it's going to go up in 3s. Okay? So that is literally what you would need to do. So in the exam, you obviously won't be able to code it on, you probably won't be able to go on to say Replit or Online GDB or any of these IDEs, because they're looking for you to just complete that table in the electronic answer booklet as is shown. So this is all it's looking for you to do. Okay? So what you can see here, I'm going to show you the two together. So we've got our algorithm, we've got our trace table that we've made, which you would obviously put in the electronic answer document, and we've got the code. So the reason why I've done the code is so you can see how that algorithm would work if we decided to code it, and to see if the values outputted is going to be the same as what we put in the trace table. Because in the trace table, it's allowing us to think about what would happen if we declare that number as a variable, and what would happen if we were to actually output it. And that is the two questions on that so far. Another one here. So we got an algorithm that is required to help scientists monitor the level of a pollutant in the river. So they take 4 readings at the level of each pollutant in the river and then use a computer to analyze the data. The value of each reading will be an integer in the range 1 to 10. So the algorithm needs to accept the input of each reading, output the total number of numbers entered, output the mean of the total numbers entered, output the largest and the smallest entered. So this is an example of what we would need to do. So we need to write an algorithm that meets those specific requirements. So it's only asking us to do it in the form of an algorithm. So I'm going to write it on a notepad document, so you can see what I would do. So this is where we would need to have a little bit of a think about this. So what would we need altogether? So what are we going to need? We would need current number to be an integer. We want the max number to be an integer. We want the minimum number to be an integer. And we want the total to be an integer as well. So that's what we're going to need. And the mean is a real. So a real means decimal numbers. So we've got those ready. And now we want to assign them. So we want to set current number to 0. Set maximum number to 0. Set min number to 11. So this is going to be, so we're basically saying any number that's above 10. Literally all we're doing there. And then after that, we want to set total to 0 and set the mean to 0. Yes, the 0 is going to be an integer in this case, even though the mean is decimal. So the next bit we want, so we've got all of those variables, and we want the range from 1 to 10. So we would need a for I equals 1 to 4. Then what I would do is show that it's a loop, and we're going to do an output. Make it small. Going to output, so enter a reading. So that's literally what we got. So that's the first thing we got. And then in there, we want to input current number. If current number, so if it's above the maximum number, then we're going to do maximum number is equal to the current number. And then what we do here, if we want to come out of an if statement, we just do end if. And then we do if current number is less than the min number, then we're going to do minimum number equals the current number. And then we're going to end if exactly the same. And after that, we want to do a total. So we're going to increment the total to the current number. And then we don't need another end if. We will need to, once we've done that, we need to end the for loop. Or we could, then we would need next I. And then we would need to end the loop. Then, or you can have loop until. So we're going to have mean, after that next I. We're going to have mean equals total divided by 4, as that's how many numbers there are. And then all we want to do is we just want to do our little outputs that look like these. So we've got total, mean, largest, smallest. But the only thing it's not told us here is you could do that as a subroutine, but I don't think we need to worry too much about that. The point is, we would have got 6 marks. Because we've got the input, we've got the total of all the numbers entered, the mean of all the numbers entered, the largest and the smallest. So we've got 5 of those bullet points already. So it does all of that, and it inputs the reading 6 times. Okay? So that's literally all we have. So, yep, so they can accept. So this is one of the solutions that they'll definitely accept. You can do a subroutine in there, but you don't need to. If you don't have indentation, they will ignore it, indentation or lack of it. But I tend not to do that. I would rather do the indentation because it's better practice. Okay? So I could go ahead and code that. The next question is a green foot, so that is in our algorithm. So like I said, I could code this algorithm into Python or C++, which is a fun thing to actually do. But anyway, that is what I would have there. And we've reached the end of the algorithms video for the 2019 GCSE Computer Science Paper 2 via the WJEC exam board. So if you like this video, please remember to click that like and subscribe button, click that notifications bell if you want updates to more videos like these, which will help you with more revision. And I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now. So please be sure to hit that like, and please also remember to hit that subscribe button. And another way to subscribe is to just click on this link, which is below each video I place. And if you like my content and you want to find out more about what I do, I've also got an online course called Introduction to Computer Systems on the Udemy website. So you just need to click on it, and there we go. So this is my online course, Introduction to Computer Systems. So this is the landing page for that course. So in it, you will learn. So these are some of the things we'll learn, like explaining the role of the central processing unit, describe the components of the CPU, provide an introduction to assembly language, which is low-level programming, explain the factors that affect the performance of the central processing unit, and I've also put in another bit that I'm interested in, the physics of overclocking the CPU, which may me develop an interest in electronics and also physics. So there's a lot more to it than even we realized. So this is the course content. So you've got computer systems, so I'm introducing you to it. Then I'm going into the different forms of architecture and assembly language. Then I'm going into the factors that affect it and the physics of overclocking the CPU. And then I'm going into logic, so combinational logic systems, making the logic gates, sequential logic systems, semiconductors. Then I go into all things binary, where we introduce you to number systems, all the way down to doing binary and sound, images and text. And then finally we got input and output devices and the different forms of storage, so that's where memory will come in. And then my assessment is basically one big quiz of 30 questions. So you don't need any knowledge to do this course. All you need is a computer with stable internet connection. So that's all you really need there. And why you should do the course? Well, wherever I don't know, I'll go out and learn it. So the way my brain is wired is I'm on the autism spectrum. So it will be an asset in helping you get through the online courses that we provide. So we understand how to explain things in simple terms due to my teaching background. So you could think of us as a real-life version of, say, a Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory, minus the rudeness, or a C-3PO, but without the glitches. So I'm on the autism spectrum, so we're on the autism spectrum and have a rough idea on how to talk to them and relate to them. And my teaching style is that style I've crafted, and one that works in a way that some people don't get if they only had tuition in the classroom or just want to study the subject a lot more. So this course provides you with the opportunity to go further than you were in the subject that you want to pursue. So those are some of the reasons why you should consider buying this online course, because once you buy it,